I wanted to direct my speech to small and medium entrepreneurs. We quite a lot of us here today. And at my firm at Bénédicte, we've been helping entrepreneurs think about their business globally since 1999. When Patricia called me a few months ago to ask me to come and talk to you about Brexit, in all honesty, I've spent the next few weeks trying to care. So I've called Patricia and I asked her, what exactly is the point of this Brexit conference? And she told me, well, Fabien, we've had the UK leaving the European Union, we've got a short conference. For me, Brexit is just the illustration of the unreliability of society, and it's not really a problem by itself if you think with the mind of an entrepreneur. It can even be an occasion to make a profit, and actually this conference is a good example of making a profit out of Brexit. So at this stage, what do we know for us, small businesses? What do we know about Brexit? Well, in all honesty, not much. Some practical aspects have been covered by other speakers. But in truth, all we know is that it's not really looking good so far. We entrepreneurs of all nationalities, we are the backbone of the economy. We are responsible for 60% of private sector employment in this country. And we effectively support the economy by taking risk, by dedicating ourselves to grow the economy. And that's something that comes with rewards, but we also with a lot of difficulties. Now, who is behind us to support our actions? And that's especially true for entrepreneurs who come from a different country. True, government from all over the world will do their best luring us, so we contribute for them winning market share in this global world trade. But back to business. We live in a globalized world. The world speaks English, and we do business in English everywhere. We mostly do our big deals in US dollar or in euro, and yet most entrepreneurs think locally when they do their business. When it comes to the core structuration of the business, they don't really open their eyes of what's actually available in terms of structuration. Let's have a look at the world. England has a population who is prone in believing that leaving the EU will result in at least 100 million pound a week, 100 million a week for the NHS. The United States has Donald Trump. Russia has Putin. So if you had a business in Crimea, what do you have now? A sanction. So what business should do? Move to France? But let's talk about the French debt, 50 billion euros. That's not the amount of the debt. That's the amount of the interest that the French government needs to pay every single year. So if we look at the real winner of the world economy, we've got Google, we've got Amazon, we've got Facebook, we've got IKEA. Every time when you open your browser and you start a search on Google, you're actually using intellectual property which is owned by a company in the Bermuda. And that doesn't shock anyone. Everybody is using Dropbox. Most of you have a Facebook account. So what we should learn from those businesses is that they separate in the business what actually has the value. And what has the value is the intellectual property, the brand, the know-how. And if you separate that from the day-to-day operations, you can create a much more favorable setup for your business. If we apply, let's make it simple. If we apply the same principle to this microphone, for example, without this microphone, I cannot deliver this speech to you because right now I'm with you here in Westminster. But as the owner of a business, if I transfer the ownership of this microphone to a company in Luxembourg, I will actually need to pay my company in Luxembourg in order to deliver this speech to you and therefore to do business. So that's really simplifying what is thinking about globalization for a small business. But the principle is there, is to separate what really have the value in the business and make sure that we are always prepared for what's coming next. Business should not really wait for Brexit. Especially small and medium business should really structure their business in a fashion to protect their long-term investments and to ensure that no Brexit, no Trump, no Putin, no one will actually affect the survival of the business. And by not putting all the eggs in the same basket, we could be creating wealth globally by ensuring that protecting this wealthy intellectual property, but putting it safe in a different country, I can actually be prepared for anything that comes to my business because my operation where I am is not so relevant anymore. The value is somewhere else. So I can choose to be here or I can choose to be somewhere else. And earlier, Patricia gave a very good example about the T-shirt business. And that's actually the same similar mindset, is that I don't really need to be somewhere to do the business. And I can prepare myself in a much more clever way. So for me, the real question is not really shall I stay or shall I go? For me, the smart question would be how shall I stay or how shall I go? Thank you very much.